welcome back to B-Dog Digital. Right now I'm about to take you guys on a journey through time. This is the Elder Ballou Cemetery behind me. This is a 300-year-old burial ground which is tied to some of the earliest settlers in Rhode Island history, known as the Ballous. They were a Baptist family that moved here initially from France and then to England and then to the US in the 1640s. The earliest known descendant that they can trace is Maturin Ballou, and I believe he was the first to migrate the area. His son James Ballou was the first to own this land in Cumberland, Rhode Island. So this is right off of Elder Ballou Meeting House Road. Elder Ballou was James's son, and he was one of the most prominent Baptist preachers in the area for 35 years. He's buried somewhere in here, and his name was Abner, actually. So what we're going to do today is we're going to check out the area, learn about the history, the family, what this place has to offer. I'm already seeing some pretty cool stuff behind us, and there's even an abandoned Cumberlandite quarry. Cumberlandite's a state rock of Rhode Island, and apparently there was an area called Iron Mine Hill where they would dig it up. We're going to learn all about that, so come and join me on this next adventure. Alright, so we're going to step into the shadows of the Elder Ballou Cemetery. So the earliest one buried here of the Ballou family is James, and I'm not sure where we're going to find his gravestone at. This is only Ballou, 1849. So that would match up with what they said about the family moving here in the 1840s. Okay, so these ones were born in the 1700s. Wow. So there's Harvey and Ruth. So I'd like to learn a bit more about each of the Ballous. It looks like James Ballou was born in 1652, and he's the one who acquired the land and divided it amongst his sons. And Elder Abner Ballou was a pastor for 35 years, and they named the cemetery after him. Look at these old gates. Sarah Ballou. There's others buried here too that must have been part of the family. Who's over here? Oh wow, Phoebe J. Dargill family or Darsil? A lot of these gravestones, oh that's right, some of them were actually made out of Cumberlandite, I heard. Cumberlandite is the state rock of Rhode Island, and we're going to learn more about that when we go to the mine, but I was hearing that some of these stone walls and gravestones were actually made out of this rock. Let's keep looking, because I want to find the actual James Ballou and the rest of the family. Freeman. So we want to find Abner and James Ballou. They're supposed to be the two most prominent figures. They got to be around here somewhere. I'm going to keep looking. There's also supposed to be a place where there was an old meeting house, apparently. One of the earliest homes from the 1700s that the Ballou family was either living in or they owned. We got another gravestone right here. Who's this? Rosina? I can barely read that one. The meeting house would have been somewhere over here. This was an empty lot. Let's go see. And then I want to get back into that graveyard, and maybe they're over here. There's supposed to be another one, the nearby Whipple Cemetery as well. So the meeting house would have been around here somewhere. Yeah, it says right here, Elder Ballou Cemetery. Respect this historical site. Let me take a look over here and see what's this way. Is there another cemetery? Or is this the site where the Ballous that I was looking for are buried at? Now this is my first time coming to this place, so again, I'm not going to really know much about it and what's here. But okay, there is another cemetery back here. Oh, and it's overgrown. Okay, who's here? Rudolph, Armenia. George Crocker, Smith. These are the Smiths. Oh, okay, so you know what? This is that nearby Whipple Cemetery that they said. Looks like that this was a family that was related to the Ballous. Aidan Ballou Whipple. Mother and father. I'll have to find out who the Whipples are. There's some of the Whipple family buried in Smithfield, I remember, as well. So this is historical cemetery number 28. This is the Whipple Cemetery then. Let's see who these people were. So reading online more that the Whipple family was another very prominent family in Rhode Island history. They, like the Ballous, were early settlers, and they were involved in farming, tavern keeping, and they did have ties to baptism as well. Let's see who's over here. These are the Whitings, and these ones, we have John Whiting and Margaret Whiting. I'm having some trouble finding out exactly who Margaret and John Whiting were. I can't really find much information on them, but they're here in this cemetery, and they were buried around the same times, maybe a couple decades earlier, it looks like. It looks like right here we have father and mother. This must be father and mother Whipple. So that's cool to walk through and see this historical cemetery for the Whipples, and there's the Smiths again over here. So I'm actually not quite sure on who all these people and all these families are, but I've heard the names, and there's areas in Rhode Island like Whipple Hill in Smithfield that have to be named after this family. Let's keep walking this way and we'll get back to the Ballou Cemetery, and I want to see if I can find the graves of Elder Ballou and James Ballou. I just stepped right on a pricker bush and I got my leg. Damn. Alright, I'm back at the Ballou Cemetery now. So I'm going to really do some investigation, try to find out where Elder Ballou, his name was Abner Ballou, is located. And we'll find James, his father, as well. And then there was two James. One of them was the son. I know that we have this grave of Ruth Ballou up here, who she looks like she was one of the earlier families as well, or earlier members of the family. Now, I'm going to loop around. This cemetery is apparently 90 by 90 square feet. It's pretty large. So there's more graves up there we'll check out. And I want to do a little bit of investigating in this crypt building. All right, let's go in here and see what we can find. It's a tight squeeze, but not impossible. So I wonder, there must have been, you know, someone that was laid to rest in here. There's supposedly some creepy ghost stories about this place. Apparently there's supposed to be some man in a gray suit that roams the graveyard grounds or cemetery grounds. I don't see any ghosts here right now, but you know, these crypts are pretty ghostly. That one's got some trash in it, which is unfortunate to see. And not all these I can really go inside, it looks like. So, let's see. There's some bricks in there, old bricks. If there were people buried in here, then they're gone now, obviously, but let's keep looking around. I mean, that's an interesting thing right there. I thought this might have at first been the remains of they had like a farmhouse or a house that was across the street, but this is an actual crypt that's now left abandoned. All right, I want to keep moving up because I would like to see who else is here in these gravestones. a lot of these people, like, they have names that I've never seen. Weatherhead. There's Alan Ballou. So that is another Ballou. We have Sawyer. That sounded like an old colonial name. And look at those old iron gates. Let's see. These headstones look like they've been made from the Cumberlandite. Louis A., daughter of Mr. Welcome and Mrs. Lucina Weatherhead. James Trask. Wow. Lydia and Joseph Jenkels. This is cool. It's a yucca plant right here in the middle of the cemetery. These were very popular ornamental plants. They still are, but for graveyards, for whatever reason, I see them a lot. Look at all these. Elder Ballou. So there's some more Ballous. Who is this? Memory of, is that Lou Cypress Ballou? 1816, so this is a very early one. In memory of Arnold Ballou. A lot of these are kind of hard to read now. Again, I'm trying to locate where at least Abner Ballou and... Okay, here's Hosea Ballou. He was born in 1793. Polly. Again, I wanted to find Abner and James. Who's this right here? With this headstone knocked over. Emily Place, 1849. She was only 20 years old. Wow. I know it was common back then to pass away early from diseases. James Trask. Okay. Eliab Gilson. Let's keep moving this way. Payne. That sounds like another early settler name. So we're looking at the Payne family. Barlett. I mean, there are so many different families that are buried in this site. It's tough to even like figure my way out around here. Burlingame, that's another name that sounds familiar. There's Burlingame State Park in South County. Alpha Harris. That's wife of Nathan Harris. I didn't realize that Alpha was a woman's name. There's some more Ballous. Jonathan Ballou. Nancy. Let's keep looking. Alright, now we are actually coming up to the Elder Ballou site. It looks like right here I can see. We have Henrietta Ballou, wife of Abner Ballou, and Abner Ballou. So he was the Elder Ballou, and even though he wasn't the first here, I believe they called him Elder Ballou because he was a very prominent pastor. He worked as a pastor for 35 years. Now, I don't know where I can find James Ballou. He was supposed to be the father of Abner. These look like they're children of Abner's. Let's see this large one over here. Otis Ballou. Okay, so we are going back a little bit, it looks like. Right, Curtis. So this is another Curtis family. Felina Ballou, Arthur Cook. This is the Rathbun family. I can't find James Ballou's grave though. W.D. Ballou, 1877, and Eliza, 70 years old. I know they got to be around here somewhere. All right, so I can't find James's grave. There's so many graves here. I'm happy I got to find the actual Elder Ballou though, Abner. The bugs are horrible, and I just kind of want to get to that Cumberlandite site right now. I noticed that there's the trail opening here, so I'm going to take this trail and follow it behind to the Iron Mine Hill and see if I can find the Cumberlandite quarry. And we'll learn more about Cumberlandite together now as well. Alright, so right now behind me is going to be the trail that leads to the Cumberlandite quarry at Iron Mine Hill. This is still on the Elder Ballou Road, so we're going to take this turn. It's directly to the left of the cemetery. So the area we're heading to now, Iron Mine Hill, has been around for about 1.5 billion years. Volcanic activity first erupted here and created over time the Cumberlandite stone that is unique to Rhode Island. And what makes it really unique is it contains magnetite or magnetic properties, and it's able to attract metal, being magnetic. It's very rare. It can only be found in northeastern Rhode Island around the world. And it is a gray stone that's got some slight greenish or like white lines in it. So let's see if we can find any. Right now, I'm walking through the cemetery. That trail looks like it goes right behind the cemetery. And this one goes to this open lot over here. I was reading that they've been mining Cumberlandite from this area since the 1700s. They even used it for making little weapons and tools during the Revolutionary War. And I'm sure the War of 1812 as well. I can already see the site's open, and I can't believe this was right behind the Elder Ballou Cemetery. Now, they said it was like a quarry. This right now just looks like an open flat area. Oh, you know what? I wonder if this is all the Cumberlandite. I'll have to see if this is magnetic. I believe this could be a piece right here. Looks like it. So it looks like, yeah, this is the Cumberlandite that was being quarried. You can see there's even a drill mark right there. And this rock's got that slight greenish tint to it. There's more stuff here. Let's see this. This could all be Cumberlandite. I'm really wishing I had brought a magnet now to tell for sure, but I mean, this looks like these big slabs. Oh yeah, look how it's drilled. This was the Cumberlandite that they were taking out for sure. Yep, I can see the quarry right here. And you can see like the slight greenish tint on the rock, and then all the moss too. This looks like it could have been a little fire pit. What's on this angle or this end? Alright, so there's more trail that way. I'm gonna have to go down there. Let's first head back down and see where this one brings me all the way to the end. Oh, Cumberlandite is slippery. Oh no! Dropped my water bottle. Alright, so it looks like there's another trail up that way. Let me just quickly see where this goes, because this might just be a dead end going to this house that's over there. And yeah, there's Cumberlandite all over this place. Okay, yep, this one leads up to a condo or a home. Let's follow this trail. See little wildflowers right there. Oh yeah, look at them all. Nice little purple. You can see how the ground is so like gray, and it even looks at this tire mark, so the quarrying of this area must have happened for quite some time. This might be a big chunk of the Cumberlandite right here, and there's bugs all over it. That's cool. There's a pipe in the ground. This is like walking on a trail made of Cumberlandite. Oh, going back in the woods. I think this is taking me in one big circle around the quarry. So what I'm going to do then next is take a right when I get back to the opening part, and we'll follow the other trail down. So that looks like that was the whole quarry or iron mine hill. Just ahead of me is still another trail. So we came down initially this one from the Elder Ballou Meeting House Road, and now we're going to follow this. This is directly behind the cemetery over here. And it still looks like there's some big chunks of Cumberlandite. Okay, yep, there's another entrance to the cemetery there. There's the quarry, giant walls. Looks like there's something over there. Let's follow this trail to the end first. It would be interesting to see if we do see any ghostly apparitions. I'm going to do a little bit of reading and find out what kind of ghostly apparitions there are or have been seen. I wonder if this is the location of the Cumberlandite cave that's supposed to be in Cumberland. I thought there was one on Diamond Hill, and there may very well be, but I couldn't find it. And what is this thing right here? Look at this. This looks like an old picture frame. Or a window pane even. Could be from the quarry. Look at all that. Wow. That's all Cumberlandite right there. There's some tires, of course, as always. Wow. That's like a big Cumberlandite wall. Looks like there's a cave entrance over here. There's nothing in there. But that's crazy. Look at that thing. I'm seeing some interesting things over here. This looks like it could have been an old machine of some sort. Look at this thing. Wow. Look at this. This was definitely some kind of an old machine, or yeah, look at, you can see these chains here. This is rusty as hell. All the nails. They must have used this to transport the mined Cumberlandite out. Okay, let me get down here. Ugh. So I'm back on the trail. We just left that massive Cumberlandite hill over there. That's just so crazy to see that. This looks like it was almost an elevated train track. The condo building is over there, so I think we're gonna miss that on this trail. And I'm not sure how many more miles or how long this system is going to be. I'm just going to walk it and see. Look at these mushrooms. I've never seen mushrooms like that before. They look like almost like honey buns or something. Like I want to eat that for breakfast. All right, there's another stone wall. This trail is still going, but it looks like it's going to end soon around the condos. All right, so the trail ends over there at those condos. I did get to see the Cumberland quarry, or Cumberlandite quarry that I wanted to see, and we did also find the grave site of Abner, also known as Elder Ballou. I'm going to go back one more time and see if we can find James's site, but I'm not too sure I'm going to find it today. I need to come back here with somebody who's been here before and knows the place and knows the history. While I'm walking back to the cemetery though, I'll tell you about some of the crazy ghost stories that I've found. People have seen things in these woods and at the cemetery, so let's learn. Look at that, there's another old stone wall in the woods right there. That could be hundreds and hundreds of years old. And there's more of this metal machine down here too. More pieces of whatever this was to mine the Cumberlandite. And there's a big piece of the Cumberlandite right here. You can see the greenish tint to it. Really cool. So right now I'm walking back to the cemetery and I'm going to end the video very soon. But I wanted to share some of these strange ghost stories that I was reading about in this area. Specifically, the most prominent ghost story that people have seen is there's a man in a gray suit, as mentioned earlier, that apparently roams around the cemetery and disappears before people can notice. They say he's most seen in the fall and autumn, and people think he may be in some way connected to Abner Ballou. The other one I was reading about is these woods behind me that I'm just finishing up now. Apparently you can hear footsteps right behind you that match your pace, and you turn around and there's nobody there. Could just be the echo. I mean, there's a lot of big rocks around here. But that's also pretty cool. All right, let's go back up to the cemetery here. I was even hearing rumors that these woods are haunted by like a phantom horse or a headless horseman. So I should probably come back here at night and see what kind of creepy stuff you can find. Okay, so again, Abner Ballou is over here, and I really could not find James's stone. James was supposed to be Abner's father, but the thing is there's two James. I think there's also a James Jr. That's James Barlow. Okay, so I'm running low on time right now. It's getting dark and I am getting very sweaty. Wearing a hoodie in the summer, I don't know what made me think of that, because the rain, I guess. But that is it. That's the Elder Ballou Cemetery. I'm gonna have to come back here when I can try to find James Ballou. Maybe hopefully I can come with somebody who's already been here. And it was very cool. I loved seeing these historic graves. Loved checking out the crypt over there. And I found the Whipple Cemetery. And yeah, we actually did the Cumberlandite quarry. Got a nice little piece of Cumberlandite to bring home. All right, so I'm gonna end the video here. That's a beautiful shot. Really cool. Stay tuned, guys. We'll have a lot more hikes coming up soon. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you in the next hike.